welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello crafters, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today we are going to make a really fun card using the Love from Lizi August Super Kit, and it's called Live, Love, Laugh. This tunnel card is going to measure 5.5 by 5.5, and I'm using some of the products from the kit and some from my stash. Links to products are down in the description, as well as card measurements and everything else you might need. Check the description down below, folks. You'll be surprised what you find down there as well. So to start off, I have got 3 pieces of cardstock. Now 2 is pattern paper and 1 is white card. These 3 pieces, they measure 8.5 by 5.5, and I've done some scoring on all 3 of these. I've scored at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, then at 7, 7.5 and 8. These we're going to fold. They'll be let me see, so we're going to start from the middle. This one will be a valley, then the next one will be a mountain and a valley, and the same with this. We'll have a valley, a mountain and a valley, and I'll go through that in a minute with you. This white piece on the back, I have added a piece of the pattern paper, and I took a piece from this pattern paper. This piece here is 5.25 by 1.25 inches. I really wanted to get in the beautiful flowers here on this piece. You can see I've done some stamping. I've used the stamp set that came in the kit. I have taken the 4U, that's this one here, and I've stamped in a Twilight, which is a navy kind of ink, and I've used VersaFine Clair for this. I love the VersaFine Clair. It gives me a great stamping, whether I'm using a stamping tool or whether I'm using a stamping block. I just love how well that these stamp. So that's the VersaFine Clair Twilight, and you'll see the red color that I have stamped here using the little floral here and here, as well as the little hearts I've used from here. The red color is Tulip Red, and again it's VersaFine Clair as well, and it's a very close match for the red that is in these pattern papers. So they're the 2 inks I've used. That's going to be the back of my tunnel card, so I'll have room here to write my message. I've done it 5.5 by 5.5 because I feel when the card is compressed, it should fit into a 6 by 6 envelope. Now I'll probably make a lovely box envelope for this card, and there are tutorials available on YouTube, and I should have a tutorial, if not out already, due soon on how to make boxes for your cards. So that's the back of our tunnel card. Then we have these 2 pieces as well. I want to embellish the inside of our back panel, and to do that I have a piece of orange cardstock. I was kind of picking up the color tones that's in the pattern papers that we're using. This piece is 5.25 by 5.25, and I've used a previous embossing folder that we got in one of our kits. This is the hydrangea embossing folder that we got in an earlier kit, and I thought it would be nice to emboss this panel, so when you're looking through our tunnel cards you'll see that on the back. I've also got 1 piece of white card. This piece measures 5.5 by 5.5, and this is going to be the front of our card. Onto this we're going to add a frame. Now I'm using the Love from Lizi nested circle dies, and they're absolutely fab. We get so many dies in the Love from Lizi nesting set. There's 21 dies, and you can see here what I've done is I've put every other die onto the front, and then the ones in between go on the back. Just makes it easier for lifting them off my magnetic sheets. So the largest die is 5.5 inches in diameter, and the smallest one is 1/2 inch in diameter, and they go up by 1/4 of an inch. I think, is it 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, but they're really tightly nested together. They're fabulous. So I have taken 4 of the dies from this, and you can see here they're pretty much all, you know, one after the other. So I'm going to give you the measurement for this one. This is the smallest die that I have used, and the cutting line for these is right on the outside edge. So this cutting die measures 3 3/4. My largest die measures 4.5, and then I have 2 in between that. So I've taken my largest die and my smallest die, and I have die cut out this frame. So I have a centerpiece. I'll put that away and use that again. I may actually use that for the topper on the lid of my box. It's always handy. So that'll give me my frame. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take again my smallest die. So if we call this die 4 and our largest one is die 1, I'm going to take this die and I'm going to pop this in the center of this panel, and I'm going to die cut out my opening. Then I'm going to take my frame and I'm going to sit it over that like that, so it'll frame our lovely opening that we have here, and then we can see down through our 3 layers to the very bottom. Okay, so what are we going to see when we look through? Well, what we're going to see is this decoupage piece. Now we get decoupage sheets, and I'm just going to reach over here. We got 2 decoupage sheets. I've taken this one and I've taken out piece 1 and piece 2. That's what these are. And I have then put them together using foam tape. I've taken this little piece here and this little piece here and added them on to our middle piece. So we have 3 layers on this. Now we could have 4 or 5 layers, goes up as far as A5, but I'm going to use these for another card later on. I've also taken, you can see these little triangle pieces here. There's 4 of them. I have those over here. I'm going to use those to embellish our front panel. I'm going to pop those into the corners, if I can get this one off. So they'll sit on there like that, and I'll do 1 on each corner. We'll have our frame in the middle, and then from the scraps of pattern paper like this, what I did was I fussy cut out 2 little floral pieces, so I could put 1 up there if I wanted and 1 down there, or maybe put 1 at this side and 1 here, but I have them cut off so I can use them to embellish. And I also cut this little piece. You can see it there in the middle. I've taken that piece as well, and I just thought I may embellish my card with that. I've cut them out. If I use them, I use them. If I don't, I don't. So that's all those pieces there that we're going to need. So now we have all our bits and pieces. Let's do some assembly. I'm also going to glue my embossed panel down as well. So once I have that down, then we can fold up on these sides and we can assemble our card. So now I've die cut out my circle on my front panel, and that's ready to go. I'll be able to pop my frame down on top of that, and then we'll be able to join that up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my frame down and glue my back panel down. And to do that, I'm going to use some collal glue. When the collal glue dries, it'll go nice and hard, and it'll give strength to our card. So I'll use the collal now for doing that. Next, I'm going to take these two dies. So I'm going to take the largest and the one next to that, and I'm going to put them on my pattern paper. So I think I'll have the large one on this one and then the second largest. So this would be die 3 and die 4. I'm going to pop them on there, and what I want to do now is I want to center these in the panel. So I want to make sure that whatever the measurement is here, it's the same here, here and here, and I'll use my ruler for that, and I'll do the same with this one, make sure it's centered. So now I have my two pieces die cut out. I have this one and this one, and my circles are die cut out. And I won't throw these away because these can be used. I may use them for the top of my box. I can always take my orange one there like that, pop the other piece of the decoupage that's on there and have that as a sentiment. Or I could use this one. So don't throw out your die cut pieces. They'll come in very handy, and I have the white one there as well, so always very handy. Okay, so now we have our die cutting done, we have our gluing done. All we need to do now is some assembly. So this is how they're going to go now, and you can see that the pattern paper here on the back has a smaller die cut piece than this one here. So I'm going to fold them in. I'm going to start with this one. So we're doing a valley fold on this one, and I want to make sure they're nice and straight. And then I'm going to do a mountain fold, and you can burnish those score lines if your die cutting machine has taken, you know, the score line out a little bit. So that's that one, and I'm going to do the same now on this side. So I'm going to do a valley. I want to make sure that's nice and straight. Yeah. And then a mountain, and then a valley. And we're going to do that with our other piece of pattern paper and also with our white cardstock piece. So there's one, and I'm going to speed through the rest now. So now these are going to make our little tunnels. So we're going to pop one there. We're going to glue this one on here. Then we're going to glue this one on here. Oops. Maybe if I do it this way, it'll be easier for you to see. And then this one will go glue on here. So that's how it's going to sit, with our decoupage then will be down in there in the middle. So let's go ahead now and assemble all that. I love this, it's so cool. And you could put acetate across the different layers and have stuff floating on them if you wanted, but I just thought it was nice to be able to see down through the tunnel and see our decoupage piece at the bottom, and it'll all fold flat nicely like so. So all we need to do now is embellish the front. And I'm going to do that with my little pieces that I have here. So there we go. There is our tunnel card, and it folds nice and flat ish to go into an envelope, but our envelope, we would use a 6x6 envelope, and this is a 5.5 by 5.5 card. There's lots of dimension there when it's open. The back of our card is lovely and pretty as well, and has plenty of room for us to write our message. So I'm going to leave you now with some pictures of the card that we've made. If you decide to make this card, do share it with Lizi on her Facebook group or on my Facebook group, Your Cards and Crafts. So that's it for now. I'll see you again with card 5 coming soon. Until then, bye for now. Bye bye, folks.